Hello, what's happening, gamers? Sorry for the late start. Dealing with stuff behind the scenes. Um, so real quick, the channel is no longer at Nagato. It was released this morning. The channel is not fully monetized with this new company over in either we're in Istanbul now or we're in Portugal. I don't. It doesn't really matter. The channel is going to take about a week to remonetize everything. For the time being, super chats I don't believe work. And memberships may or not be paused. I don't know. This is a much smaller network than we've ever been to. YouTube placed us over here, and because of all the stuff that we've done in terms of like how long we've been a channel, then different features will be unlocked as more and more videos are monetized and things like that. So, yeah, but we're no longer at Nagato, but they lied to YouTube today. I saw an email. They said we got paid. I went to our payment information. There is no payment. So I just told YouTube that's not true. There's no payment. So, but I have heard from a couple people earlier this morning that at least 15 of the 50 partners have gotten out of Nagato, and at least they are releasing people, but no one else has been paid. So that's the situation. I haven't gone to the police yet because I'm very busy, like dealing with. It takes a long time to remonetize a channel when you go somewhere else. So, yeah, it's going to take a full week, but it should be by July 1st. This channel should in pretty much the same state, and then we just have to cross our fingers and hope that this new company pays us. Like if this next company doesn't pay me, then I will be going to I'll be driving to New York City to basically say, hey, there's somebody like evading a ban, and then they'll terminate all the MCNs that that person owns. So that would be the next step if this new network doesn't pay us. So that's I'm not even gonna play. So I just go to the New York City offices. But I've had 3 hours sleep, so if I'm grumpy or whatever, do not cross me today, because I could swear at you, because I've had a very trying 9 or 10 days, with this back and forth. So I have no filter right now. I have no compassion. If people complain about the channel being dead, or they get all snarky with me, probably gonna cuss you out and ban you. So if you want this smoke, come get it. Because I don't have anything left like right now. Okay, the generosity of our fans on Patreon been very kind. The people who did help, there were people that threw $1 our way. There were some people that did more. Really appreciate you guys. You've almost paid for rent. Actually, the rent is I think 1,500. We're at I forget where we are. I think we're like 13 or something. But at the same time, I told you guys there's that one. The reason why I've been so uptight is because there is a very, very bad company that demands a certain thing, and that's the big problem. Because what I'll tell you is every single company in the world is willing to work with you if you're having financial difficulties. If you are on the part of starvation and death, the IRS only cares if you can make your payment. They don't want excuses. So that's who we're dealing with. There is no compassion, there is no mercy, there's no caring from the IRS. They're a soulless, vapid, evil organization that needs to be terminated. But it is what it is. So we'll see what happens. I did everything I could. I'm still working behind the scenes to try to help people that are impacted by Nagato. I got a couple partners out so far. Some of them are going to stay with Google AdSense. Some of them are going to networks. That's their business. My job was just to get awareness out. I haven't had time to work on my video because now my video has to change because I was threatening legal action against them, as well as like federal action if they didn't release my channel. So now I have to cut out a good 20 minutes out of my 40-minute video, which I'm probably just going to redo the audio anyway. But like I said, I have to remonetize 17,000 videos. That's 1,000 videos a day by hand. Okay? 1,000 videos by hand. 17,000, that will take the remainder of June. And there's no other way for me to do it, and I don't have the strength to do it. Like back in the day, I'll tell you, when 2021 rolled around and the network was terminated by YouTube, me and a friend who no longer works on YouTube divided up the work between a couple computers and remonetized the channel over the course of 48 hours. A couple years, like almost yeah, about 4 to 5 years ago, something like that. And that was a very long and dragged out process that took forever. But we did it. It wasn't fun though. How am I supposed to get to the Gorons when I keep bursting into flames? This is really starting to tick me off. I don't remember how to do this. Isn't there supposed to be some stupid village I go to where I'm not bursting into flames here? Maybe we should just, like, screw this and just go to the desert. I don't want to deal with this. I can't think. No, I'm not working with DSP. I'm not that desperate. No, that's a bad idea. I'm willing to go across the aisle and work with, like, you know, grifters and woke people if I have to, but I'm not going down to DSP's level. No thanks. I'm not dealing with any locals. This is not a locale situation. Those guys beg for money because they just want to make more money. I just need what I need to survive. I need $5 grand to survive. I'm not begging people for, you know, locale, like, excuse me, but I'm just going full mask off. The guy got a $300 donation yesterday so he could go to Burger King. Who the F gets $300 so they can go to Burger King? You want to know how much Burger King costs? $20. No, I'm not no effing locale, okay? I have no... Don't associate me with that person. My wife and I just need what we need to survive. I am running very tense. My blood pressure is through the roof, okay? I've been up dealing with this. I've been working with partners. I've been doing all kinds of crap for the past, I don't even know how many hours. Gotten 3 hours sleep. Do not associate with me with DSP. Do not. Totally different situation. I don't have thousands of dollars in debt because I was spending money stupidly on some type of, like, wrestling app. Not the same situation. I'm not mad at you. I'm like this close to going full nuke already, okay? 3 hours sleep, dealing with all these international bull, okay? I have no filter. No filter, no restrictions, no nothing. I'm broken, I'm angry, I'm desperate, I'm mad as hell. Please don't push me. I'm not mad at you, but I'm just saying. That situation is really different. Do not associate with me with somebody who got caught masturbating live. I'm not anything like that person. Okay? I have no family-friendly filter today. Now, who's gonna help me with this stupid Goron thing so we can get this over with? And those of you who are members over here, I'm doing all I can to get the memberships working again. It's going to take time. I don't know when the super chats are going to work. YouTube says we're not eligible for super chats anymore because this company is too small. It's also worrying that they say it's an affiliate because that's bad. But I mean, managed and affiliate doesn't even exist anymore anyway. YouTube got rid of the managed system in 2022. Managed doesn't exist. Any copyright problems, I deal with them. And again, let me be clear with you guys. I'm not mad at my viewers. I will go scorched earth if people start to mess with me, like if a hater comes by, you know. But I'm not mad at you guys. You have to understand that right now, no filter, I'm on the edge. I'm on the brisk of bankruptcy because of people who have now lied to YouTube and said, oh, we paid them. But thanks to YouTube, now I have more names from people at Nagato. So they at least did something. But no, there's no payment. And if they're telling, oh yeah, we paid partners, I'm going to say the same thing. Yap and Cameron from Pharrella Digital years ago told people for weeks on a burner phone that they paid their partners. And I can tell you for a fact they did not pay their partners, and they were on a burner phone. Okay? What's to say that these Nagato people who have not triggered payment are not doing the same thing? And because of you assholes over at YouTube not mobilizing the police, we're in this predicament, along with other partners. But nah, whatever. That's fine. Yeah, they paid us, sure. Whatever. Do not lie to me. Not today. I'm trying to find the stable. Just give me a minute. If we end up just running around, we're just going to run around. Eventually we get to the Gorons. I don't care. But yeah, I will tell this to any like YouTube drama person too who decides to make videos on this. Family-friendly content creator goes mask off. The reason I got mad today is because they're lying, for one, that partners are being paid when I know for a fact nobody's been paid. The partner that I helped, and when I got the word out, the people left that network because there was no payment. There's still no payment. Corresponding with YouTube, oh yeah, they got paid. Nope, there's no payment. There's no trigger payment, there's no nothing. Not there. Doesn't exist. But then, you know, a lot of haters like to say, oh, you know, you're like this so-and-so individual. It's the same thing. This is a grift. It's like, if I could find you and bash your skull in, I would do it. Because that's how much I detest you. Now, that's what I really want to do to haters. Like I did to my coffee table. Leave a dent in your forehead. But that's besides the point. A locale is somebody who begs people for money so that they can just get money off people. They already have money to survive. Those people that are quote-unquote grifters and locales, I'm going to let you in on a little fact. When they complain every single day, oh, we didn't get enough support, we didn't get all this other stuff. Here's a news flash for you drama channels. They already have money in their bank. My bank account is negative. Every single one of my bank accounts, from Boston to New York to Pennsylvania, is negative. It's not the same situation. Not even close. I only ask people for what I need to survive. That's it. It'd be worth it for me to go to jail, go on one of those podcasts, take one of those microphones and stick it down somebody's throat for being stupid. That's where I'm at. Be worth it just for the pictures and the memes. Not a locale. Whatever. I got people out of the network. I did my job. Now I got to work with this new company in Portugal or Istanbul or wherever it is. I don't know. Am I going the right way or is this wrong? I'm on some mountain trail. I don't know where I am. I'm just mad, Mr. Alt. Just relax. Go to the base of the stables. What are you talking about, Shadow Trooper? You don't want me to go off on you. You don't understand the situation. No one would be able to pay them back. I've already given them $45,000 and they're still charging me stuff. I paid them back 45 grand out of the 55,000 they say I owe. And I have no idea if they have overage fees or whatever they're doing. There is no way that a sensible person can pay, what is it, like $1,500 in estimated taxes, $690 in back taxes, plus all your other bills. It's not humanly possible. You'd have to be making $10,000 a month or more. And guess what? I don't make that. So I already do the best I can with the situation that I have. So don't even. Also, if you don't look at new stuff, I'll tell you the kind of messages I get on this channel. Why do you keep playing the old stuff? There's new games. I'm gonna go watch so-and-so. That's why a YouTuber has to cover new stuff, genius. You think I want to? I don't got a choice. If I didn't get the Switch 2, there wouldn't even be people here. They'd be going watching content creator who got Switch 2. There's no loyalty. Don't say stupid stuff. else want some? Lucky it's just a timeout.
Ooh.
Now, what do you want me to do here?
Ooh.
That's the right thing to say, werewolf girl. Now, who do I buy this stupid elixir from? This guy?
Oi.
Nah, I ain't doing nothing. I'm staying in your stupid place. Where's this supposed dude I buy stuff from? Yeah, I hear you, Elijah. I know. But as a Shadowban channel, you know, I don't really have like a YouTuber needs hundreds and hundreds of people to watch a live stream to, you know, make a living. If you only have, you know, under 100 people, you're going to have to work for about 4 hours to get 1,000 views. You have to have hundreds of people in order to get 1,000 views, in order to get paid. I can only work 8 hours today, because I'm going to have to go to bed. So the Zelda stream will probably be 4 hours, the Batman stream will probably be 4 hours. If I'm lucky, the Batman stream's only 2 hours, and I can pop in another one, and boom. I'm only working 8 hours today. I can't do a 12-hour shift. I'll probably have a heart attack. I don't even have my bear with me. I have to go grab my bear. When I had income doing, what I do? I always worried. I've always had the Grim Reaper looming over my head. My situation has always been this for years. Pay my bills, pay my rent, pay my health insurance, have about 200 bucks to my name for about 3 weeks, then go negative like 70 to 80 bucks, wait for the paycheck, do some odd jobs to try to get the bank account stable. Repeat. 11 years, there you go. The only time it wasn't bad was from 2015 until about 2019. Right when Kappa hit. Kappa took, YouTube subtracted 30% of our income because of Kappa. So we were fine paying the IRS and our bills and our bank account's not going negative. It wasn't until 2019 when Kappa happened, we got a penalty of 30%. So they took 30% more of our income because of Kappa fees. So you got the fees from YouTube, plus you got the fees from the whatever for being accused of being a kid channel or whatever nonsense that was, which I did eventually get fixed. But for a while, yeah, we got a huge kidney punch by YouTube for their own stupidity, which is why they even got sued by the FTC. They broke a violation, and that's why the FTC even sued them. But then they threw the partners under the bus. There was a bunch of other stuff that happened. The only good thing that's happened is the people on Patreon and the fact that I was able to work with partners. I really should be running an MCN. That's what this should all. I should retire and just run MCNs and take money from YouTubers, like, as a percentage to make sure people get paid. I could do that job. That's not a girl. I don't know who that is. You said there's some girl somewhere? Where? I don't see a girl. This girl? Is that a girl?
Hi.
Okay, that's a girl. I ain't reading nothing. What do you got? Yeah, so that's been the reality for us. We've never complained once. If we were a locale, okay, years ago, we would have told you guys, hey, we need like hundreds of dollars for food or whatever. We want to go to a fast food place. If anybody asks you like, oh man, I need a $300 donation to Burger King, that person's a grifter. That person is pretending to be like this Sally Saab story or whatever the, you know, Sally Saab story. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm like the Doc Magician or whatever his name is. I'm revealing everybody's secrets today because I'm pissed off. Those locals, those guys got money in their bank account. They're just pretending to get sympathy from people. You don't need $300 to go to Burger King. You need $25. Between two people, you can get a burger, you can get a drink. Boom. You don't need 300. What are you going to use 300 for? You live like 200 miles away from Burger King? Miss me with that nonsense. Bull. Give me 3. Of course I got more knowledge than anybody on YouTube. You kidding me? I was going to run a CMS. I was going to be in charge of a content management system. I was going to be a partner with a very brilliant guy. We were going to run the best network ever. And because, you know, the whole Pharrella Digital incident, he had to get offline, get a job to support his wife and kids. And he's one of the most brilliant men on the internet. And they kicked him to the curb and hired a bunch of monkeys that are stupid as all get out. Excuse me. They sullied a good man's name. They screwed over a lot of people. And because of that, my YouTube job has never been the same, because I've never gotten the brand deals the way that I used to. This man was brilliant. This man knew how to do ad sales. This man knew how to get, you know, companies to help promote your videos. He knew everything. He was one of the most brilliant people that ever worked for YouTube, and they threw him under the bus for the Pharrella Digital thing, and they tried to say the dude embezzled money when he didn't. I had access to his bank account. He was paying us every month. He wasn't taking tens of thousands of dollars. Those tens of thousands of dollars were going to my bank account back in 2012, 2013. And I have well, I think I still have the bank statements I could print out to prove it. But YouTube still fired him because they thought he was a bad actor or whatever nonsense. He did nothing wrong. But yeah, you bet. I would run one of the best networks this side of whatever. You know, because I know what I'm doing. I know what partners need. I know what brand deals pay. I know all this stuff. Be really easy. Everybody make money. Everybody be happy. YouTube gonna do that? Nah, they're not gonna do that. Why would they do that? I've been asking them for a CMS for years, because I don't want to do this forever. I'd much rather take a percentage of other people's work. You know? Be like a talent agency in a sense. Provide them a place to have their network. Take like a 5% cut. That's all I need. Get like 30 channels in there, taking a 5% cut. I'm set. Keep working on my channel. I'm good. I've got the side income of their like 5%. Their fee for being in my business. And then I got my channel on the side. I'd be good. I'd be able to pay off my debts. Everything would be fine. Is that going to happen? No. Nope. Never happened. That's because I'm too much of a realist for my own good. That's why. But it is what it is. And now how do I get back to... Okay, we go this way. I think. Where am I on a death mountain now? But you have to understand, there's a lot of YouTubers that aren't saints anyway. The guys who basically put all their videos behind members only, the only reason they're doing that is because they have enough members to take the hit. You know? It's a bad idea for them to keep their, Oh, is YouTube censoring me? Did I say something hurt your little feelings? I get your panties in a twist? Huh? Is that what's happening? You're gonna censor me now? Is that what you're doing? Hmm? I hurt your feels. I hurt your feelings. You gonna cry? Did I say something too case sensitive, huh? Yeah, I got confirmation. All the partners that were in there from somebody else were unlinked. I don't have the exact number, but I think we got like at least 50 channels out. That's thanks to me and Ted, by the way. YouTube didn't do nothing. YouTube said, we can't unlink you. Yeah, we use leverage against these SOBs. That's why we got out. I threatened them with both legal and police action. That's why we got out of Nagato. I got some asswipe on Twitter saying, oh, you're not going to be responsible for this network crashing. It's like, well, I just took 50 of their partners, jackweed. What now? I'm not going to do nothing. Yeah, my fist is going to have a vacancy in your face repeatedly. Yeah, so we got all the partners out that, at least, I mean, the ones that, if they're ones that are sticking there and they say they're going to get paid, I'll tell you what happened that's good. I got more names now. Because of YouTube thinking, oh, we're doing the right thing. You know, they just gave me something that they didn't even mean to do. So now I have some more leverage. I now have 2 more names of employees. I only had 1 name of an employee. Now I've got 2. So that means I can LinkedIn them, or whatever it's called, and I can find out more information about them. So now out of the 1 employee that I knew about, now I know about the others. So if they don't pay me, I have more that I can give to the police now. So this works out for me. Again, if you're a kid, you might want to leave the channel today because the chance of me swearing is probably about 85%. I don't normally swear, but when I'm really angry, which takes a lot, when my car accident happened, I swore. I didn't say, golly gee Whittakers, my ribs are busted. I'm a New Yorker. Think about it. The only reason I never did that stuff is I had a principle for online. Because, you know, it was all for, what's the word I'm looking for? Advertiser friendly. I'm no dummy, okay? I know swearing really impacts your business. It makes people uncomfortable. It's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not business appropriate. You don't see people at a business usually going around cussing out each other. At least you didn't 20 years ago when I worked. So it was a conscious decision. And also, I don't casually swear. I'm one of those guys, if I hit my hand with a hammer, yeah, something happens. You know, I've been out in public, Amber's accidentally slammed my hand with a car door. I say some choice things. I'm human. I will tell you this, I'm aware that the Bible says that swearing is wrong. Let nothing vulgar come out of your mouth. I know that, but behind the scenes, sometimes I have sin. When you grow up in the environment that I did, in the ghetto of New York, you hear stuff all the time. I just chose not to do it a lot, but I am not Mr. Rogers right now. So if you're a kid and that offends you, go away for a while. But I'm just saying, I'm just glad that I was able to get some of these people out. So now we got more leverage, though. But unfortunately, according to my friend Ted, we're going to call him Ted, is the other people we can't really help as well. And some of these people are stubborn. As I've said before, some of these people that are over there, they can take the hit. You see a YouTuber that made like, what is it? Made 110,000 views in 4 hours. They made like close to $2 grand on just that one video. Plus, they've got memberships. Plus, they got super chats on the video. They're making bank. You know? And most people aren't in my situation. Most YouTubers that have like 500,000 or 1 million subscribers, they don't have the type of problem happen. I had 50 grand stolen from me in 2014. And our accountant put that down as paid. So then the IRS came after me when that money never hit my bank account. But as I've said before, okay? If any transaction happens with your taxes and some idiot puts it down on the books, the IRS doesn't check your bank account. They don't check to confirm it. They just see what was written on the stupid piece of paper. And if the piece of paper says you made an additional 50 grand, they're like, where's the other 50 grand? Not in my bank account, jackweed. That's where it is. You know? But they don't care. So I've been dealing with a storm for 11 years behind the scene as I'm on the microphone being like this nice little uncle or whatever the bleep people called me. So I was dealing with a lot. And I never brought it up. Probably would have made my life easier to bring it up because then I could like play on people's sympathies or whatever, but nah. That was my own private thing because I was super embarrassed by it. So wait, every single one of these bow and arrows is going to catch fire? Well, that sucks. So what am I going to have to do? Amiibo drops? Oh, where the heck am I? May as well go to that stupid, I think it's this way. So yeah, I'm in Scorched Earth right now. Like, I don't care about making fun of YouTubers. Maybe I'll get exposure for making fun of them, and it doesn't matter to me. But I see a lot of stuff over the years. I see, you know, I'm really mad too. There was a, those woke people are responsible for killing a YouTuber. Nice lady who had a bunch of, this is true. So there are still some of those, because only woke people do smear campaigns on people. You know that? You don't have any sane, rational people that do smear campaigns so that people commit suicide. That's woke people who do that. So you have this nice little lady, she's 31 years old. She had an animal rescue. Right? She had an animal rescue and she got targeted by a bunch of frickin' loser furries. And she killed herself. Because they were saying all kinds of crap about her that wasn't true. She was going out of her way to help animals. They did smear campaigns on her. They harassed her all the time. She killed herself. Yeah, the Fox Rescue lady, yep. That's on them. They're murderers. They made it so it was impossible for her to do her job. They kept harassing her. They kept making Reddits and 4chans about her. She had nowhere to go. She had nowhere to escape. She had people come to her channel, harass her. She had Twitter threads. And all these people, they think they're some damn social justice warriors. They're responsible for murder. If I was her husband or something, I would go after these people. I'd find each and every one of them and I would teach them a lesson. Maybe they make it to court, maybe they don't. This is why I hate woke people. Because they're cult members and because they literally will not stop until the YouTuber is dead. And that's exactly what happened to this poor lady. And let me put this in perspective, okay? I've had people attack me for 5 years and, you know, I haven't done myself in. This lady was attacked for a year or two. She's dead. So. And I've been telling people for years, these people are dangerous. Don't give them an inch. If you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. She also made the mistake of apologizing. Do not apologize for anything, because once you apologize, that's it. They say they want you to apologize. They don't want you to apologize. They want you on your knees begging for forgiveness for something you didn't do wrong. That's what they want. Has nothing to do with an apology. It has to do, they want you on your knees. Because they want power. And this poor lady, she didn't know how to play the game. You know, she was trying to be nice. She was trying, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm hurting your feelings or whatever. No, you can't do that. Never apologize to these freaks. If they do something that's really damaging your brand, you scare them with legal action. If they do something stupid and they write a threat, you seek the cops on them. It's that simple. You never ever bow to terrorists, and that's who these woke people are. They're terrorists. You don't treat them like people, you treat them like the filth they are. They're scum. Let the police worry about it if they threaten you. If they try to do something. I got that one yuppie to shut up by threatening to sue his ass. And I still mean to do it. If I see him start up again, first thing he's getting is a letter saying, you know, I'm coming after him and his husband. I'm not playing. But yeah, these people, they're responsible. Like those woke clowns, they killed this poor fox lady, who was actually a really nice lady. Never met her personally. I don't know every single YouTuber. But she was just bringing foxes a good home, and you know, they're saying all this crap that she did that she didn't do. They made Reddit threads. They had Reddit threads just about her the way they have Reddit threads about me. All of it's nonsense. All of it's out of context. And she couldn't, you know, handle the pressure anymore because she's constantly being attacked by people on Twitter. It made her sad, and that was it. So those people are responsible for murder. So like I said, if I was her boyfriend or I was husband, I would hold them, every single one of them, responsible. And I would not rest until justice is done against them. An eye for an eye. That's how you have to play their game. You cannot let them get away with it because they're going to find another YouTuber, they're going to do it again. The only way these slime balls are ever going to stop is that if an example is made and they're afraid to do anything. And even if it meant me going to jail, I would make them fear my name. You understand? That's the difference between me and other YouTubers. Is I want you sitting up in your bed panicking what I'm going to do to you. That's what I want. I want you looking over your shoulder because I know where you work. That's power. So I feel really bad for the fox lady. But if Amber ended up, you know, cashing out because of like these smear campaigns, I would take care of each and every one of them that I believed were associated with it. There would be no rest. There would be nothing. They put a restraining order on me, that's not going to stop me. I will teach them what hell feels like. Worst case scenario. But thankfully my wife has been pretty strong, and also, you know, but they make fun of our dead baby all the time. They do all this other stuff. You know, some people are able to handle things, some people are not able to handle things. And nobody should have to deal with smear campaigns. That's stupid. Smear campaigns did not exist on YouTube until these weirdos existed. Wasn't a thing. Nobody should have to deal with that kind of stuff. Well, we made it to Goron City, so I'm just gonna buy some armor if I can. Skip the whole fire lizard nonsense. Yeah. I didn't know Etika personally, but yeah, I knew about the situation. Before Kobe went crazy, he used to talk about Etika. Yeah, but that's why I don't like those people, is because they're responsible for killing people all the time. And then they're like, well, we're not responsible if somebody, like, self-deletes. It's like, they weren't going to self-delete without you. You pushed them. So as I said, if anything ever happened to my wife, I have about 150 people I'd be visiting personally. Because there will be consequences. They're very lucky nothing has happened to my wife. Because she's been driven to the point several times. She's very upset with stuff. How would you feel, somebody making fun of your dead kid? Which of the champions is my favorite? I like probably either Mifa or the Goron guy. Alright, we're not doing this right now. We're going into the Goron City to buy the armor. I'm not wasting one of my elixirs. This is a good place to fast travel or whatever. We're gonna go buy armor. We should be able to buy armor. Once I get more pieces of armor, I won't turn into a Bake Alaska or whatever. Yeah, but I feel terrible. But what you guys don't understand is a lot of these people are responsible for... They've killed game developers. They've killed people at studios. There's been a couple indie developers who've cashed out because of woke people. And they have no remorse either. They don't apologize for anything. They keep smearing these people even after death. That's how sick these people are. They still make fun of a couple of those, like, poor game developers who, like, self-deleted because of harassment. All those Reddits, all those places should be pulled down by the authorities, as well as the family members of the victims. That's not free speech.
Yeah. Ah.
Where's the armor? There it is. Good. Very good.
Ooh.
Probably need the pants too. Don't really care about the helmet. I don't think I need the helmet. Just the pants.
Oh.
There we go. Now I won't burst into flames. At least I hope so. We good? This better work. I'm only saying I would go after them if they did something to my wife. Like, if my wife ended up becoming Fox Lady, yeah, of course. I know who I'm going after. I know who I'm targeting. That's a promise, but that's not, like, there's nothing that's wrong with Amber. I'm just saying, if that happened, if I was in that guy's situation, I would hunt these losers down. That's all I'm saying. Their ideology is on the cusp of falling apart because, here's the thing, the public doesn't like them anymore. Companies are rejecting them. Everybody realizes how crazy they are. The one guy who was filming himself in, like, women's bathrooms, Florida's going to throw him in jail, which is good, because you can't do that. There's something called privacy, and, you know, you can't make women feel unsafe. Women have rights, you know. If I had a little girl and that dude was filming, I'd stuff his phone down his throat and give him a swirly. Not gonna film in a bathroom where my little girl is using and she's crying. I'm gonna do something about it. Make you think twice about taking that phone and filming in the bathroom now, won't it? These people have no consequences. I'll take the battering charge. Also have my wife and my daughter will think I'm a frickin' hero, as well as a lot of the internet will celebrate what I do to that weirdo. A lot of these people have never been punched in the face. I have. I know what it's like. When I did something stupid in the 90s and got into a fight, or an adult hit me, I was like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. Nobody's disciplined anymore. They think that words are going to keep kids in line. No, they're not. Your words are going to have kids climb on top of cars and get run over in the middle of the street protesting. Words don't do anything. You have to discipline people. That's why we have this whole stupid movement anyway. Most of these people have no parental figures. They don't respect authority. They're all loose cannons. And loose cannons are out of control. Need to bring back public flogging. Teach people a lesson. Looks like we're not going to burn up anymore, so this is good. Yeah, but I'm just saying, there has to be consequences for people's actions. If they would actually, if the Fox family, I'm calling them the Fox family, if they would actually go after these people and accuse them of, like, you know, attempted murder and things like that for their smear campaigns, there has to be stricter things that happen to anybody that does a smear campaign. There needs to be legal action. And if there is a threat that results in someone being dead, then that person needs to be brought into the courts. At that point, it's no longer free speech. In fact, did you know it's not free speech actually to say you're going to kill somebody? Like, you can actually get that person in trouble. So all these people over the years that have said they're going to kill me, I did seek action against them. I found some of them, but that's not free speech. Especially when they detail how they're going to do it. And it's funny, most of these allies and stuff like that, they say some very mean things to Amber. And they're very descriptive of how they want to breed her and all this other stuff. You know, very disturbing people. With Redania running wildly recently, Death Mountain eruptions have gotten real bad. Do you see Redania stomping around? They say that 100 years ago, blah, 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 blah. Now all it does is mess up our mining operations. We're all suffering because of it. Can't tell how many times we use the cannon. Always comes back. Just some back pain. I'm a traveler, bye. You come all the way to pay me your respects? No. Don't care. I'm the great Goron boss who's fearsome enough to silence a crying child. None other than I, Boldo, is planning to drive that Redenia thing. Blasted, whatever. He's the young Goron who's supposed to help drive off that thing. Uh-huh. He went to grab some painkillers from my back. Slacker. Bet he's off somewhere wasting time. Hey, if you happen to see him, I'll let him know. Okay. Yeah, it's very hot right now. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves. Alright, let's do this shrine. Yeah, but again, parents and, you know, whatever, little kids, I don't normally act like this. When stuff happens bad to adults, and they have a lot of stress, and they have a lot of pressure from them offline, adults tend to get very angry. Okay? The things that I said, the words that I use, don't use those words. I know they're bad. It's not for shock value. I just don't have any qualms about doing anything right now. I'm very angry. I'm like the best way to explain it is I'm a caged animal. Or no, I'm an animal in the corner. And I'm getting poked by people. And I'm getting told by people something else. And I'm ready to claw those people because I'm a trapped animal. So I have a fight or flight response to everything right now. I have no sleep. I've been trying to help as many partners as I could. I've only been able to help 50 out of 300. That's not good. It's better than it was years ago. At least, you know, 50 people have the ability to start earning an income again. That's good. But at the same time, you know, it's taken a lot of toll on me. Like, I wouldn't say mentally, because, I mean, this is how I am in New York, but whatever. It's put a drain on me, I think is the easiest way to explain it. Like, my soul is drained. I'm angry. I don't like being a victim. I don't like being taken advantage of. And I don't like when something repeats that's already happened. I already went through this in 2014. Most people don't suffer the same crime twice. It's called the law of averages. It's not usually a thing. If you go through like a horrible crime and somebody commits something on you, like, you know, a family member dies a certain way, or there's a type of robbery or burglary or a fire or whatever, that person, according to the law of averages, does not go through something to that extent again. Something else happens to you. The exact same crime is happening to me again, which usually this is enough to make somebody go postal, as the saying in the 90s went. I'm still holding back, believe me. I could use my pain as an opportunity to get back at every single person that's ever hurt me. I would have a reason, and then I'd just plea insanity. Because I am insane at this point, so it wouldn't be lying. But, you know. This is what happens in the adult world when things hit the fan, so to speak. My wife and I are, like, very agitated right now. If she was going to stream Mario Kart today, she'd probably end up banning half the channel just on, you know, simple discussions. Because she has no filter either right now. You know, she has to take a medical job. She's scared about getting AIDS and things like that. She's terrified. She's been crying. She tells me, I don't want to take the job. I say, okay, don't take the job. She says, I have to take the job. It's like, no, you don't have to take the job. So every time I say something to her, she doesn't listen. It's like, I have to take the job. I'm just being a coward. It's like, no, you have a real fear for this. And, you know, let's face it, you're a little clumsy. So, you know, you could get stuck by a needle or something like that in cleaning. You know? When I was a janitor at a college, I didn't have to worry about getting AIDS or hepatitis C or anything. You know, there's no needles in trash cans or anything like that. Or needles. Sometimes, maybe people don't know this, but in the medical field, nurses have to be very careful sitting down next to a patient because there could have been a needle left on the bed. 200,000... Statistics say that over 200,000, like, medical professionals get HIV, AIDS, or hepatitis C almost every year in the medical field by accident. So the odds of it happening for somebody who's cleaning the room, that could be a possibility. So, in truth, I don't want her to do that. We're okay for the month of July in terms of our rent being paid and, you know, being able to have food. We got rice, we got beans. Is it luxury? No. It's not a luxury, but we have rice, we got beans, we got water, we got some cereal, we can afford to get milk once in a while. Is it our ideal situation for eating food? No. But, you know, we're making do. I also found a great website for Great Depression recipes. So I'm going to make Amber learn to like gravy bread. Because that's what we're going to be eating. Nah, the stream's being DDoSed by a bunch of damn woke freaks. It's what they do. They like to use mommy and daddy. Such tolerant people, right? Not. Hey, VR Pro, if you want your ass kicked to the curb, keep going. Also, very suspicious that the hacking started when you showed up. That's very sus. I'm gonna make a note of that. Didn't start until you came into my channel and started yapping. Very suspicious. Wait, that was it? Guess that's it. You're fine, Uncle Howdy. Don't worry about it. I know the stream's sputtering, Wally. You already know why it's stuttering. We're not idiots here. You already know what's happening. It's our usual band of very tolerant people. Come on, don't give me that. You know who it is. I know who it is, and I'm tracking their sorry asses. I know who it is. And I guarantee you it's going to lead me back to the source, and I hope it does, because if I can make those people downfall, ho ho ho, that'd make my career. As well as it will set them back as a movement 20 years. That would be glorious. Oh my gosh, you have no idea how much I want certain individuals to be involved. You have no idea how much I want it. I really want it to be the persons of interest. So very much. Because I will make an example out of them that the internet has never seen. There will be actual consequences. That no one will dare ever do it ever again. That's how you make it stop. Not with a lawsuit. Actual jail time. That's what I want for Christmas. These people sniveling behind bars, getting it up the butt in prison. That's what I want. That's what I want to see so badly. You have no idea. I want their lives ruined. Forever. I want them, when they're in their dying elderly years, to remember how they screwed with me and I fought back. I want them to cherish those memories. And any type of incident that happened in prison, I want them to always remember that. I'm only still alive, so I see that happen. That's what I want. You kidding me? I might rough them up before they go to jail, but I want them alive so that they can suffer in prison. I want them to be passed around like a blow-up doll. That's what I want to see. Want those little keyboard warriors to experience what hell is like. Zach, do you always respond positively with everything I say? I don't think you should do that. I don't know if those Octoroks repair weapons. I don't think so. Can I go right to the Divine Beast now that I got fire protection? Because I just want to get out of Death Mountain. I don't want to screw around. Wait, I don't even have... I have to get a certain bow. We need to do amiibo drops. I need at least a good bow or I can't do this. Every single one of my bows is wooden. That's not going to fly. I won't be able to attack the Divine Beast, I don't think, without any arrows or anything. So I gotta bounce. We're gonna keep this stupid armor on, but we're gonna go someplace in a nice, quiet field where I can drop amiibos. Hot no should work. Yeah, but the reason why I haven't jumped in front of a bus because of all the smear campaigns is because the whole reason I'm alive... Because I could have checked out a long time ago based on all the stuff people say about me that's not true and, you know, all this other stuff. I'm not a stronger person. I want revenge. Revenge is what keeps me alive. I haven't been pretending to be like trans people and all this other stuff for years so that my hard work doesn't go without merit. I want to make an example of these people, and I want to tie it to the organization I know it's associated with. That's the reason why I'm still alive. Because I've had to deal with a lot of harassment the past 6 years. I want these people to suffer. And I want, when any keyboard warrior thinks about what happened, to know what the consequences were that. And there will be severe consequences. Because hacking is a federal crime in the state of Pennsylvania. 30 years in prison. Not a cushy prison either. Federal prison. So I want them every single day to get raped by some dude who's got, like, muscles the size of Kansas. That's what'll help me sleep at night. That's not a bow and arrow. That's not going to help me. So yeah, I wish... My enemies wish really bad stuff on me. I wish way worse on them. And I can actually do it to them, too. There we go. Because they've committed a lot of crimes that I have a lot of evidence for. Police have a lot of receipt. We're just looking for the smoking gun. We're just looking for that one person who pulled the trigger on the swatting, and then 150 people go bye-bye, because I'm going to tie each and every one of them to the crime, whether they're innocent or not. I don't care. Prove it. Prove you're not associated with it. Good luck. You hung out with the wrong circle of people. Every single person I suspect will be in trouble. They can get a lawyer. Yeah, I know I need somebody's help, but I need to get better bows and equipment right now, so we're just doing a simple amiibo drop. Whatever rubies I can get, whatever I need. You've been watching since 2015? I haven't seen you before. What are you, a lurker? Wait. That we should probably need, because I can't use a wooden shield. Bye-bye. You were watching my Lego Jurassic stuff? Well, that's surprising. Thanks for that. How many amiibo do I have? A lot. Wow, that was a terrible drop. So we only got one good bow and arrow. Eh. Am I a fan of Looney Tunes? I guess. Already used that. guess that's it. Alright, so where do we find Yonobo, or whatever his name is? Funtime Foxy? No, I'm not doing better. Not remotely. Not one bit. Nope. I got a message today from YouTube that the payment had been resolved, and the only thing that's been resolved is I got the partners out. That's it. The partners that were in trouble, I got it out. So, here we have YouTube saying, hey, I've been informed by so-and-so that you got paid. Uh-huh. We don't have that information. So you're telling me... Okay. So they lied to you then. Well, at least I got the partners out. So now we've got an instance where Nagato is telling YouTube, oh, we paid them. We paid them. We paid the creators. We did. Honest. No, you didn't pay anybody. Looks like some of these weirdos that have been, who used to do smear campaigns on me, they're mostly doing, what are they doing now? Looks like they're doing political grifts. They're talking about all that other stuff, so, yeah. Whatever, as long as they leave me alone, I don't care. They leave me alone, I leave them alone. That's how it works. If you don't want to bother me, I'm not going to bother you. That simple. You screw with me, find out. But hey, if you don't mess with me, I'm not going to mess with you. That's how it works. It's a two-way street. That's how I live my life. As long as you leave me alone, I leave you alone. That's how it works. You don't leave me alone, well, consequences. When the Arkham stream's starting? Later. I gotta finish the Zelda stream. I'm getting gaslighted by YouTube, Ice. They told me, everything's been resolved. Everyone's been paid. It's like, really? Really? Let me check my bank accounts and show the negativeness to them. Huh? Let me show this to YouTube. We've been paid. Uh-huh. There you go. Yep. $0 means paid. Negative 2 grand means paid. Yep. I see it right there. I'm looking at it. I too am hallucinating. I see the money in there. I don't see negatives in the bank account. Oh wait. Yeah, I do. Uh-huh. Now I'm getting gaslighted by YouTube itself. At least I got the partners out. They're probably ticked at me for getting the partners out. Whatever. Whatever. But yeah, I'm in make-believe land too. I see our payment. Amber and I didn't have a squabble over money. Yep. Totally. I believe you, YouTube. I believe you. I believe what you're selling here. Yep. But thank you for the names of more of the employees at Nagato, though. That I can use. That I can use to my advantage. So thank you very much for that. The problem is, I can't go after these clowns at the network and remonetize my channel at the same time. It's going to take me 12 or 13 days to remonetize this channel with someone else because I have too many videos. Here we go. I responded to YouTube. I said, hey, so they lied to you then that they paid the partners. Okay, here's a screenshot for your records showing the imaginary money that was sent. But I can use those people for my police report now, so thanks for that. I didn't have these additional names. Considering their business address is a fake in Sweden, this helps. Oh, this is going to be a fun day. Fun day. I'm looking forward to it. Here's my imaginary paycheck. But now I have more people's names. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. Really? Okay. Alright. Now the payment issue hasn't been resolved. They're lying in your face. So Robin and Juan, huh? Okay. Robin and Juan. Thank you very much. So as I suspected, the second network is involved. right, let's have a fun little email here. Let's get all New York on them. 2 questions. 1, why didn't Nagato respond to the messages from partners? Actually, 3 questions. 3 questions for you. Why didn't Nagato respond to the messages from partners about payment a week ago? Number 2. Okay? Why did you ignore the channel release CMS notifications, CMS alerts on your dashboard when partners were going to leave, and you only released them when I threatened you with the police? Huh? Kinda sus. 3, where's the money? There we go. New York email in 3, 2, 1. Sent to 1. I'll deal with Robin later. Yeah, one of our bank accounts is $2,000 in debt. Yep, it's negative. Yep. Yep. So the Patreon is going to cover... My parents gracefully are covering the IRS back payment for 2 months. My parents are retired. They only make $2,000 a month because of retirement. So I'm putting them in a bind, but they don't want me to go to jail. So I love them for that. But yeah, now I'm because of their due diligence at this network. Yeah, my account. You know, I told people, I said my bills. The reason why I was getting urgent with people, my bills come out on the 20th and the 23rd. So yeah, I'm negative. Yep. So now we got Juan and Robin here who are gaslighting YouTube. We paid the partners. We don't know what the smaller partner is saying. We paid everybody. So I just sent YouTube my bank account while, like, you know, blacking out the routing number and all that other stuff to show them a picture, fun little picture with negative, and another fun little picture that says money received 0 with the name of the network. The last time the network sent the payment, which would have been May of what was it? May 16th of 2025, and that was for April. May's payment for the work in May has not been sent. And if they're telling YouTube the otherwise, well, we're going to have a problem. Because now this is extortion. My parents are amazing. My parents can't afford it. My dad is a retired minister and my mom is a retired teacher. They don't make money. My parents are the only reason I still believe in God, because they're good people. The one thing that I thought that was going to happen with me during all this is I was going to become an atheist that would curse God, because I had no hope. I saw people trying, you know, with the Patreon, but I was like, that's the extent of what our fan base can do. You know? Which is amazing. It's still incredible to raise, like, you know, $1,200 or $1,500 in a short amount of time, but that's all it's going to go. You know, the Patreon is not a GoFundMe. It can't, you know, people throw a few dollars our way, that's fantastic. And that's the safest option because, you know, Patreon, we've always been paid by Patreon. But Patreon's always small potatoes. Patreon basically paid for groceries for like 10 years or something like that, you know? Or one bill. But rent is $1,500 in Pennsylvania, so... I paid for rent in July with the last of my savings. And that's all I had, and now I have nothing. So, Amber and I are going to be eating rice and beans, which are good for you, and they're cheap. I'm going to try for food stamps. And I might end up begging the IRS for leniency, but they're not going to do anything. So I don't know if I'm going to grovel in front of the IRS. I don't want to. It was their mistake that put me in this financial situation in the first place. If I didn't have this back debt, I would be fine. I'd be able to survive with $600 a month. We could do it. But I can't survive with the IRS. And let me tell you, there are people who literally unalive themselves for less debt to the IRS than I have. So I'm a much stronger person than people give me credit for. But I can't hold out forever. I've been dealing with this for 11 years. I'm about to pop. Like, I'm about to go postal. I have no idea how I've been able to hold back all these years. It's a miracle in itself. I worked hard, I got paid, that's the best I could do. Now I work hard, now I don't get paid. So there's, you know, there's not much left for me. But yeah, I almost lost my faith. I got very close to cussing God out and saying, I don't believe in you anymore. I've been a believer my whole life. So that's how far, that's how low I got. That's how broken I was. That's how destroyed I was. Because I didn't have hope anymore. Where the heck is this Yonobo guy? I don't even remember. There's the cannon I need. So I guess I just follow this path until I find Yonobo or whatever his name is. Well, yeah, but what I love is when I have a bunch of yahoos come to the channel and, like, if you were just good with your money, it's like, I want to take those people and hit them with a sink. Because I've done everything I could. You know, we scrimped and saved, we barely ate any food. I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm a skeleton, but I'm not a healthy weight. Somebody my age should be, like, at least 210. I'm like 160, 140, yeah, 160, 170. I only eat one meal a day. And people say I'm not good with my money. I'm not out here, like, spending extravagant things. If it's not for my business, I don't buy it. I hate people like that. I hate people, if you're just good with your money, yeah, you wouldn't be in this situation. It's like, you couldn't do what I did. If you lived my life for one day, you would walk right onto the highway that's, like, right out front. You wouldn't be able to handle it. You couldn't handle one day in my shoes with my situation. The highway is right up the road. You'd walk right into it. Say bye-bye. Did Amber help me with my faith? My wife is a very religious person. My wife is a very God-fearing woman who's a much better person than me. She loves the Lord and she loves me. I don't know why, but she does. If I was Amber, I would have taken off a long time ago. Personally. the amount of financial woes that I put her through, like, all the times I was in the hospital when we were first married. You know, when the IRS took our money in 2014 and demanded, like, 90 grand or whatever, saying that we stole money when we didn't. She could have left me then. When I had a relapse and I was in the hospital in 2015 and 16 in Pennsylvania because of all the stress, she could have left me then. Amber literally takes to that in sickness and in health thing because I've fallen apart several times. She's the one holding the pieces back together with glue. So I hate when people say that I abuse my wife. I love my wife very much. The people I wish I could abuse are the people that say that stuff. Just leave me 5 minutes with the people who accuse me of beating up my wife. I'll show them what abuse looks like. I'm gonna turn their face into a hamburger. Pounded meat. That's what abuse would look like. I'm just waiting for an excuse. I'm just waiting for an excuse to somebody to get me off this chain so I can cut loose, because I've got 10 years of stress that I need to release. I just need one person to give me the go-ahead, to give me a reason to go. Because you're not stopping me once I go. I know how to avoid the police. I know how to do a lot of stuff. Because I come from a family of law enforcement. I know every trick in the book. So if I'm coming after you, I'm coming after you. I'm going to get you before the cops get me. So I'm just begging for people to let me off this leash. Because I got nothing left. Without Amber, I probably wouldn't be a Christian anymore. Probably not. Probably make my parents mad, but, like, I am so furious at God, you have no idea. Kind of yelled at my parents a little bit today, too, because they were like, God won't give you more than you can handle. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. I hate that. I hate when people say that. When Christians say that, I hate when people say that. Because I don't believe it anymore. That's the absolute worst thing that you can say to me is, you know, he's not going to give you more than you can handle. Uh-huh. I don't believe it anymore. Still believe in God, but I don't believe in that. That's the best I can do. If that's not good enough for so-called Christians and people of faith, that's all I have left. So, you know. Sorry. I have nothing left. And I've had some nasty Christians mad at me because I swore a couple times this week. They act like it's the end of the world. I'm pulling my support. I can't believe you. My child heard you swear and blah, 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 blah. It's like, look, person, I appreciate that you've been doing stuff for us for years. But, you know, you got to understand that the only perfect person in this world is Jesus, not me. I do not do things right. I have a temper. I had anger management as a kid. I dealt with a lot of bullies growing up. And then I did something about those bullies when they tried to jump me in high school. But I had to live with that stupid philosophy of turn the other cheek. If you're a Christian, turn the other cheek. Take the insults. Take the punishment. If somebody punches you, get punched. By the time I was 15, I was done dealing with that. I got pantsed every single day when I was a little kid because my parents could only afford, like sweatpants for school. So I didn't actually get to wear jeans in school until I was like 12 years old. because we couldn't afford it. You know, also you could argue, well, it was the style back then. You know, a lot of kids in the 90s wore a lot of, like, sweatpants and, you know, like, very loose clothing and stuff like that. Yeah, but that didn't help me very much. Wasn't a good thing. So I grew up as a very angry young man, and the only channel that I had to get rid of my anger was martial arts. So martial arts was my channel to get rid of my aggression. With my neuropathy, I have no way to train with martial arts anymore, so I have all this anger. And I can't get rid of it. But yeah, I've had a lot of Christians be mean to me on Twitter and on YouTube and stuff the past couple days because I'm falling apart and they're judging me for it. So that's where I'm at with that stuff. I'm sorry, Julia, if that offends you. You know, I'm going to try to work on that. Until I'm paid again and this situation is dealt with YouTube and all these other people, like, I'm going to try to behave as best I can. You know? But I've never... You have to understand that I made a business decision not to act a certain way. You know, in my personal life, I didn't swear very much at all. It was all reactionary. Like, if I was hammering something for Amber and I missed, might swear. If I got my hand stuck in a car door, or if I fell down a flight of stairs or something. But, you know, I've been on the air for 18 years. Sometimes the cracks are going to come loose. It's not like I was wearing a mask pretending to be like this goody two-shoes, like moral oral or anything like that. I've gotten angry over the years online. People know I have anger issues. I get made fun of it. Like, people make fun of me for having anger issues. But you know, the error is human. God in heaven is the only perfect being. Humans are not perfect. Humans make mistakes. Humans sin all the time. I'm aware of what I'm doing is not right, but I'm too angry to care right now. There'll be consequences for this. I'll lose members. I'll lose financial support from Christians. But I can tell you this for a fact. I've had churches call me the devil to my face because I play video games. They ask you, what's your ministry? Like, what are you and your wife doing that you work together? Because most people in the ministry, you work together, you're usually a missionary. So, and then you tell them you're in gaming and they walk away from you like you're like a vampire or something. And they're about ready to take a cross out. So the church hasn't been very kind to us. To the fact where the new church where we are, we haven't told them what we do for a living because we don't want to have to leave the church. That's the reality of the church. They see video games as demonic. They see that video games are a waste of time and that it takes people away from God and, you know, all this other nonsense. When I tried to tell people in the past, you know, I could use the same argument for television and movies because I know for a fact that you sit in front of a TV with your family, with your television trays, watching Disney Channel or whatever. You're doing the same thing. You could be praying and you could be worshiping our Heavenly Father and all this other nonsense. But you have your family's butts parked in front of a TV, you know, watching stuff. You know, you could say that's an idol. You know, I can do that thing to you too. I can fire that right back in your face the way that you do to me. Because it's the same thing in that sense. I don't know why God keeps me on YouTube. There's nothing but suffering and pain. I don't know why he wants me here, but I don't want to be a role model anymore. If this is where it gets me, I don't want to do it. I just do YouTube the way I want. If it becomes a new era of Kwing where I cuss like a sailor, so be it. But I don't cuss like a sailor. I only swear when I'm really mad. But I've dealt with this sin for a long time. Anger and swearing is my sin. Always has been. Every Christian has one sin that they will struggle with the rest of their life. Like a ball and chain strapped to their ankle. My temper and my swearing, that's my cross to carry. Maybe he wants me to expose the evil of YouTube. It's starting to look like it. My mom was frantically telling me, don't put yourself out there. Don't do that. And I said, Ma, there are people that are trapped. There are people who are probably in a worse situation than me, although I don't see how. No one else is going to do it. I had an opportunity all those years ago. No, I didn't have the opportunity I have now. I was a victim without anything to do except get my own hide out of the network. I couldn't help anybody. I couldn't help. I feel terrible that that younger YouTube partner took his life. I blame myself for that. Because I promised that kid that everything was going to be okay. And that we were going to get him into a new network and all this other stuff. I failed. Every partner that I've spoken to, this time around, I've gotten them out of the network. Worked together with Ted. We got him. The other people that are trapped in other networks, I don't know them. And I don't have any way of helping them other than to tell them to, you know, get out of your network by clicking that kill switch. So hit that 30-day kill switch. But I feel terrible about what happened to that young man. I always will. And it was, you know, as an adult, because he was just a teenager. As an adult, you know, he looked to us to get him out of his situation. And we tried. And he didn't hold on. So I will always remember that. And because of what happened to him, it's why I'm so frantic with this whole network thing, because I don't want it to happen to anyone else ever again. And the fact that, you know, non-related case, that poor Fox lady died because of smear campaigners. I'm very angry right now. I have a heart for people even if I don't think I do. Keeps me up at night sometimes when injustices are done to people. I just can't, like, ignore it and be like, okay. I can't do that. You could call it butting in, you could call it whatever you want, but I don't know. I feel really bad about stuff, and I want to try to help people if I can. There's nothing that I'll benefit from it. I just think it's the right thing to do. And I think if people actually, you know, take the time to do the right thing, it's a very important thing to do. So he could be using me to destroy this network and, you know, make sure YouTube dismantles the MCN program. I don't know. He didn't get me paid, so that's a problem. So I'm mad at him for not getting me paid, because Amber and I, you know, exchanged words earlier today, because, you know, she's got to go out and DoorDash because we have no way of eating food. I told her we have food. We got rice and beans. That's food. But, you know, no, she has every reason to get up and, you know, I'm not the supporter of my family right now. I'm not the breadwinner. I'm not doing my job as a husband. I can't take care of my own wife. I'm a failure as a husband right now. There's no money in my accounts. I can't be a provider. I'm nothing. You can say what you want for me, like my attitude and all this other stuff, but I supported my wife for 19 years. 19 years. He was a small YouTuber back in the day. Networks used to allow a ton of, I can't remember his channel. I can remember his name was Kyle, but that's about it. That was his real name. I can't remember his YouTube handle because his channel's been long erased. See, back in the day, what happened is YouTube used to allow, like, I'll explain it this way. So the reason why I don't like MCNs is because MCN basically tells anybody they can become a YouTube partner, okay? So these kids, when they grow up watching you and stuff, you know, he might have been a fan of my work, or he might have been a fan of, like, some type of animation company. It doesn't matter. These networks would prey on people, and they would say, hey, if you join our network, we'll let you become a YouTube partner, because the YouTube partner program was very selective. It was very hard to get into, okay? So what networks used to do, they don't do this anymore. There is a requirement for YouTube channels to be partnered, but they would let people in that only had a few hundred subscribers, and they would allow you to start monetizing your channel. So what they would do is they would contact hundreds of people, and they would have like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people under the age of 16 and 15 and whatever having YouTube channels and making money. And these kids would be so ecstatic to make like a few $100 or maybe $1,000 or whatever from their channels. But the problem is some of these networks would stop paying people. In the case of Pharrella Digital and Foxadel, these places stole money. So this kid was paying for his mom's cancer research. He was very excited. He was very happy to work on YouTube. But knowing that his mom was going to die without, you know, the money that he needed for her cancer, he checked out. So, you know, that's why I remember that. I remember a couple YouTubers that during that incident, they ended up in an insane asylum. There's one guy in Colorado who thinks he's Abraham Lincoln now. So, I mean, the mental strain that YouTube puts on people is very real. It's not a game. It's not a joke. It's not, haha, funny, this person thinks he's Abe Lincoln. You know, it's very sad. And it's horrible that this type of situation can get people to not just crack, but also, I mean, it is a job. There are people that say YouTube's a hobby. If you're being paid for, like, doing a gig as a musician, it's the same thing as being paid as a YouTuber. You're being paid by people to do a job. You know, if you're receiving money for what you do, it's no longer a hobby. You don't earn money on a hobby. You do a hobby because you like the hobby. Your new accent is coming through. Well, I'm ticked right now, so you know. When I get really angry, I notice it pops up every once in a while. When can you guys super chat again? I don't know. Like, I'm working on it. It's gonna take days, guys and gals. It's gonna take days for me to get the channel working again. I'm doing the best I can. Most YouTubers, if they, like, you know, release their channel from a network and they go someplace else that YouTube says, okay, you're going here, they don't have 17,000 videos. You know how long it's going to take 17,000 videos to be monetized properly? It's going to take weeks. I hit a switch to enable super chats. I don't know if it works again. I got a message from YouTube saying that the super chats aren't eligible on this channel anymore, so I don't know if they work or not. And I don't know if I'm ready for people to test stuff yet either. So, you know, because I don't want people to lose money. Yeah. If I was a locale, I'd be like, hey guys, test that super chat. No, I don't want you guys to lose your money. Your money's important to you just like my money's important to me. I'll tell you when it's working again. You know, so please don't do it. If you want to keep doing stuff on Patreon, by all means, that's fine. But I advise people not to do the super chats because I don't think it'll work. Plus, I don't know what's going to happen to your money. So, you know, just don't do it for right now. Is there a way a channel can get on shadow ban? Nah. This is the extent, like 97 to 150 people watching a live stream. That's always going to be a thing. Even if I went on a podcast with thousands of people, nothing's going to change. I've resided myself to that. That's fine. I don't care. You have to understand, I don't want to make millions of dollars. I just want to get by. I know exactly how long I have to work, how many super chats, and how many memberships I need a day. If I was a locale, I'd keep asking for more and more and more and more. I just need what I need to get by. I just want to pay my bills, want to keep the IRS off my ass, and I just want to, it'd be nice to be able to go to a nice restaurant, but, maybe for my anniversary. I just want to make sure that there's food on the table, my bills are paid for, my wife is not crying, I'm able to get my medicine for my neuropathy. I'm able to get my medicine for my panic disorder. My wife's able to get her medicine for her blood pressure because I don't want to have a heart attack. I lose her, I have no idea what will happen to me. She's the only thing keeping me in check. She comes home, she flashes those beautiful blue eyes, she gives me a hug. The whole world around me just melts. If I didn't have her in my life, I don't know what kind of person I would be. Amber is a very important person, whether she thinks so or not. But yeah, I'm serious. The people call me a grifter. I want to take their face and I want to pound it repeatedly into a wall. Because I'll say it again, I just need what I need to survive. If I did a GoFundMe, I'm not going to do a GoFundMe for hundreds of thousands of dollars. It'd be for like 15 grand. That'll get me by for 2 or 3 months. That's it. The old saying is God provides. God's only going to give you what you need to survive. I just want to get these people off my back. It would be nice to have some savings, because I have no retirement. I have nothing. But as long as I'm able to work, as long as I'm able to do my job, whether I have to stream for 4 hours to hit 1,000 views, make that CPM, I'm going to do it. Do I want to stream for 4 hours a stream? No, I don't want to do that. But I know what's required to make money, It's always been about making money on YouTube, but I never wanted to ask people for handouts because, for one, I don't like how that makes me feel. That makes me feel like an utter loser. 2, I like working on my own merit. I like doing a job. I like getting paid for it. When people interfere with that, yeah, I get pretty agitated. I think most people would. And 3, I don't remember what number 3 is. I guess try to be a good example, screw it. I'm not a good testimony to Christ, so don't even ask me that. That's gone. Like, people are going to play back, oh, Kwings been wearing a mask for years. He's a very angry New Yorker that swears all the time. I don't swear all the time, but I do swear. Exposed. But anyway, I'm going to get the Batman stream started. I'm going to go have some rice. And I might do some dishes. I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit better now that we're in a new company. But I'm going to let you be completely honest, okay? I'm scared. I'm scared that this company is going to pull the same thing next month. So I'm in a new company, and even though it's a company of my origin, it takes place over in, my family's place of birth, which is Portugal. I'm scared. I'm not going to lie. I want to be partnered through YouTube only, and because I don't have 1 million subscribers, I don't qualify for that. And it scares me. Okay? So that's the little secret I'll let you in. Yes, I'm out of the bad company, but how do I know this company's not bad? I don't know them. I don't have their names. I have nothing. I'm terrified. I'm trying to trust God. If God lets me down, I can't say that my faith is going to survive next month, guys. I'm on a tether here. Okay? I don't even know if that's the right word. It's not even a tether. Screw that. I'm on a string. There's a string that is keeping me restrained. I have a tiny little string, like a fishing wire. Exactly, Goki. I still don't know those folks. Exactly. So I'm scared out of my mind. In the back of my mind is screaming, this is going to happen again. This is going to happen again, you idiot. You absolute idiot. So, But I need to get some protein, so I'm going to go grab some rice and, put some beans on it, and there's my dinner. Okay? So I'll see you guys on the Batman thing. God bless you.